This is the On the Pony Express podcast, hosted by Billy Embody, brought to you by Epic Estate Wines. Walking strong on the Pony Express, a weekly segment with SMU alum, owner, vintner of Epic Estate Wines, Bill Armstrong. Epic Estate Wines, world-class wines from Paso Robles wine country. Learn more, Epic, EPOCH, epicwines.com. And now your host. Billy Embody.
1, 2, 3, let we go.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Walking Strong with Bill Armstrong. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, baby.
Yeah.
You know, can you believe this? We're a cold day in Dallas.
Yeah, chill.
What do you probably think this is? Probably wind chill of about 45
Yeah, 40s.
out here?
40s, yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
You said you came to SMU during one of these kind of days.
My first visit to SMU was right around this time of year on a day like this. And I had it among the top schools, and then I came back on a postcard day, and that was it.
Oh, man. My first day at SMU, my parents didn't bring me down here. They just put me on a plane, and I ended up hanging out at the pool. And there is no way. I turned down Stanford because I saw all the girls at the pool at SMU. I'm like, I'm not stupid. You know?
Right decision. Worked out for you.
What do they say about Stanford? 9 out of 10 girls in Stanford or in California are gorgeous, and the 10th goes to Stanford. I don't mean to say that to my new ACC team.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I've got a wine that you've never had before.
No,
Hardly
never.
anybody has tried.
Very cool.
Okay, this is a dessert wine.
Okay.
And it is absolutely, it is fantastic. And so it's a port style wine. And the reason I picked it for this week is because we call it possibility. And now that we're in the ACC and we're in the big time, the possibilities are endless for SMU. So that's how we did this.
Love it.
I brought an extra bottle for you.
Thank you.
And for Michelle, she can only smell it for the next 4 weeks, 4 months.
3 months.
3 more months.
Yeah.
Well, she's in the third trimester, right?
Yes.
So I think technically you might be able to sip a little bit.
Yep.
I don't want any letters about that, because. Okay, let's talk about. We don't have a lot to talk about today.
No.
Let's talk about.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. Isn't that a great smell? Possibly the best dessert wine I've ever had. It is fantastic. It's like port. It's a port style. Yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about the Fenway Bowl.
Yeah.
Or the Wasabi Bowl.
Yeah.
Was it just it was a game day, and it was just and I was on the field the whole game, froze my ass off, and I wanted to be loyal to the guys. They're out there freezing their ass off, so I thought I would too. And I was so wet, it was a joke, and I can't even describe to the fans what it was like. It started off bad and it stayed bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look like I think the opening kickoff, then we get a penalty on the opening deal that pushed us to the
moved it back to 11 or something like that.
So we started off with bad field position, and then we had all these key penalties that had kept taking away big plays or pushing us back. They kept getting the ball at the 50. We kept getting it on the 10. Everything about it was bad. The field was bad, but Boston College had to play on that same field.
Yes.
Now granted, the guys in Boston are a little more used to this kind of weather, where that day took away the best part of our game, the throwing.
Sweet. Yeah, as well.
And it was just one of those kind of strange games. You just knew it from the beginning. When we lost that opening fumble against Tulane, I didn't feel bad. It was just kind of like, okay, that's a fluke.
Yep.
But the Fenway Park game, by the way, Fenway, how cool is Fenway?
Yeah.
Oh,
cool.
My God, that's
Been
cool.
to a game.
Right behind us is the Green Monster, and it's the greatest, probably iconic stadium in the country.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah.
I think it was built in like 1920 or something like that, 1915, like a long time ago. Yeah. And oh my God, it was cool shit. And the people were great. And the Bostonians, which they're not famous for being great, but they were, it was just,
Welcome
it was
to
just,
the pack.
It was really great. Although I didn't like the coach of BC. He was a little punk, don't you think?
Yeah.
He was a little bit of a whiner. But anyway, it was weird. Our normally sure-handed receivers couldn't catch. Yeah. Moochie had key plays. I mean, Moochie had that really long throw to him that he just hit him right in the hands, and he dropped it. But the play, so we get into halftime, and even though we were all frozen solid and miserable and wet, we're ahead
14-10.
14-10, and then we had that nice drive, and KJ makes that beautiful scramble, and throws a dime, in the end zone, and hits Keyshawn between the numbers in the end zone, and he dropped it. And that was the momentum swing of the game.
Yeah,
it was,
and
then,
missed field goal
and then the block field goal.
Yeah.
And by the way, our blocking scheme on both our punts, because didn't you think all game we were going to get our punts blocked?
Yes.
It seemed like every time. I'm just
bad.
like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Anyway, that was really weird. But anyway, I don't give a shit. It's the Wasabi Bowl, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Who gives?
Yeah, I mean, nothing about that game changes the fact that SMU had to go out and do what it's been trying to do in the portal. Get the new defensive linemen, because they're losing 3. Losing 4, really. Like, they had to go out and address the offensive line. They got to do all these things to get ready for next year. And, I mean, Kevin making his second start, there were moments when I was like, wow, he's rolling. At halftime, he was well on his way to having a terrific day. Outside of the fumble on the opening drive. And then they just, again,
you know what?
A couple key plays here and there, and all of a sudden you're having to fight back in the rain.
Oh yeah, and I've never seen so many missed tackles.
Yeah,
have you added them up? I mean, it had to have been 20 missed tackles.
Trying to plant and make plays on that field with as fast as their quarterback Castellanos is,
boys, their quarterback, he was good.
Good runner.
He was really good runner. He's tough as nails because he got hit hard, both in the backfield and on the runs. And so, so anyway, that was. But at the end of the day, it's the Wasabi Bowl. Who gives? By the way, bowl season has turned into a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, who would want to play in the Duke's Mayonnaise Bowl?
Yeah.
You know, how about the Pop-Tart Bowl?
That was funny. I did like the Pop-Tart. Pop-Tarts are a lost,
I know. We all
brand
love,
until
we
now.
all love.
Now we're talking about them on our pod.
I know, unbelievable. Anyway, so but you look at like the Georgia-Florida State game.
Yeah, you feel for Florida State unless
I don't know. I mean,
I don't at all.
Florida
State's
they're just been throwing little impetuous tantrums. Now they're going to try to sue to get out of the ACC.
Yeah,
they're going to get their ass handed to them. On that lawsuit. Anyway, I mean, whatever. We're going to play Florida State next year. So
they're gonna
I don't want to piss them off too bad.
They're going to be hanging out with us right here.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, they put on a beating on Florida State, not unlike what Georgia put on TCU last year.
Yep.
You know, which brought back fantastic memories for me.
Yes.
TCU getting their ass kicked. And then you look at what Georgia did to Liberty.
Oregon. Yes.
What did I say? Georgia. Yeah, excuse me. Oregon did to Liberty.
Yeah. Just turned 46 unanswered or whatever it was.
Proof positive that Liberty, SMU should have been in the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
And not Liberty.
You never know what would have happened if, like, you can't compare playing in a pristine indoor environment in Phoenix versus Oregon. Instead, you're playing outside in the elements, Boston College. I mean,
we're a different team.
I mean, playing Boston College at their home field that isn't a baseball field might have been different.
Yeah,
I mean, it just it just is what it is.
Totally different. I guarantee we would have done better than Liberty.
Yeah,
no doubt about that. I did feel sorry for them.
Yeah,
but Oregon could have put up 75.
Yeah,
I think just like Georgia could have put up 100.
Oh, they
against Florida
100%.
State. They were playing their second string in the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, by the end of the game, they were putting in the coach's kid just to play. To get some time. So the bowl season has lost its magic. I mean,
I'm ready for the expanded playoff.
Oh my God, yes. I mean, it's going to be so much better.
Yep.
Speaking of that, those are both good semifinal games.
Yeah, they were
really good.
How about Washington?
I'm shocked how good Washington was.
They're
shocked.
tough. They're just slept on.
Oh man,
I like their coach a lot.
I like their coach a ton.
Yeah.
And they're playing the coach I like the least in Michigan next week.
Yeah.
So I'm really pulling for Washington against Michigan.
Me too.
I was glad to see Michigan beat Alabama because Alabama, I felt like
they
kind of backed in a little bit this year.
Yep.
And but everybody wanted to have Alabama, and the Nick Saban, aura needs to be dampened a little bit.
Yep.
So I was kind of glad about that. And those are probably two of my least favorite teams.
Yeah.
Take away TCU, which is my least favorite team. Baylor, second least favorite team.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama and Michigan are my top 5 least favorite teams. So I didn't give a who really won.
Who's your least favorite ACC team? I almost just said Florida State.
I don't have a least favorite yet.
Well, the family vibes are good.
I'm just digging the ACC thing, man. I'm just like, so I'm glad to say goodbye to TCU. And by the way, why do you give a shit if we really beat TCU next year? Does it really matter?
Doesn't matter in terms of
it's a non-conference game.
I just think it would be nice for SMU to be able to have those bragging rights, at least in one of these final games.
Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised between now and the game against TCU next year they try to get out of that game.
I wouldn't shock me. I'm much more though about could care less if SMU goes winless against the Power 5 non-conference and then wins the ACC.
Right.
That's.
I mean, if you look at our ACC schedule next year, we have a lot of winnable games.
Yep.
A lot of really winnable
A lot of work
games.
that needs to be done, but winnable games.
And we have been crushing it in the transfer portal. I mean, absolutely crushing the transfer portal. I think it's top 10. Mm-hmm. It may be top 7.
It was 7 last I looked.
Yeah, so top 7 in the country. Think about that.
Yeah.
And I was talking to the coaches today, and we have probably 4 more that we're going to get.
Breaking news.
That's like 15. Yeah. So we're going to have, that'll probably be top 5.
Yeah.
By the time we're said and done.
Nope. There are very few schools that will lose guys to the portal that they're okay with losing. Guys need fresh starts, whatever, and then replace them with such upgrades that SMU has. Isn't that good?
Damn.
Yeah.
Anybody out there, and you're wanting to get lucky, I highly recommend you calling up Epic and buying a bottle of Possibility, because I'll tell you what, if you drink this with your significant other and it doesn't happen for you, it's your fault. I'm just saying. All right, let's talk transfer portal. These guys better than me.
Yeah.
I mean, we have like 4 defensive linemen, right?
Yeah.
We have 3 offensive linemen, 2 from Oklahoma and 1 from that big West Virginia kid.
He's a defensive lineman.
Oh, is he defensive lineman?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's right. He is. Yeah. And then we got
I was
this.
Like, are you about to break some?
No. I wish. I would never do that.
But yes,
even though I might have some news, but I'm not going to release it. So
ooh, keep them watching.
No. And
defensive back.
That defensive back from A&M.
Yep.
Really good.
Yep. Really good player. I've known him a long time.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Good.
Yep. Deuce and his brother's Davion Harmon, who plays professionally and was a high-level recruit. Larry Brown recruited him.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah. Way back in the day.
Larry Brown?
Yeah, that's SMU.
For basketball?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about football.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
known Deuce a while.
Anyway, you guys know where we are. We're in front of the Devon College sign. And by the way, one of my very best friends, Bob Devon Jr., right here. Boom. Bob, love you, buddy. He was the chairman of the board of SMU. His dad, Bob Devon Sr., was a 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, he was a 10. Funniest guy you have ever met. And Bob Devon Jr. may be the second funniest guy you ever met.
Get him on.
We can get him on a podcast, but when he's around you and I, he's clean cut.
Yeah.
But when he's not around, when it's just he and I, he tells the most nasty jokes. I mean, like literally filthy. It's just hilarious. Bob, I love you, man. Anyway, we're digressing here.
Yeah.
So, so transfer portal, crushing it.
Yes.
And but it's really interesting is the coaches, when they tell me what they're most proud of is the 2025 recruiting class.
Yeah. They
said that will be top 10.
Yeah. They've got a good shot to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're off to a great start, multiple 4 stars, a lot of guys in Dallas that they're very, very high on, and they're sitting in good early spots. That has a chance to be a class that people look back on, and there's a lot of players that have come through that have set the standard of play on the field. That's the class that you can look at and say that's going to set the standard in high school recruiting.
Yeah,
all to a brand new bar.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, it's like we're going to be South Dallas on steroids here, right? Mm-hmm. Between Duncanville and DeSoto and yeah. Oh my God. So anyway, what else? Oh, we're going to continue the podcast.
Yes.
By popular demand, our tens of fans have said they want us to do this again. So why don't y'all send us ideas of what you want us to talk about before the season starts?
Yes.
Like if you want to talk about, you know what? Let's get Elijah Chapman on. He'll come talk about what it's like to get ready for the NFL Combine.
Yes.
That'd be fun.
Yes.
He and I were texting. He's a great guy. We're texting today. He'll be on. We can get some other guests.
Yes.
Maybe we can get David Miller.
Yeah. Big fish.
How about George W. Bush?
Dude, if you pull that one off.
Oh, Mr. President. Big fan of SMU.
Yes.
And we're great buddies. So, that would be cool.
Most importantly, let's get Laura. Mrs. Bush, please.
Oh, Laura would do it in a moment.
Proud SMU.
I mean, I don't think she would want to listen to my nasty language, though. Yeah. She's not keen on that.
Yeah, we'll just show Mary Jo Crow was on the pod, so
Yeah, there you go.
It can be done.
I can clean up. I can clean up my act.
Yep.
Okay. Well, listen. Let's do this again in a month or something.
Yes.
And you guys let us know what you want us to talk about between now and next season. And here's to you, baby.
Cheers.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And rock and roll.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thanks for listening to this edition of Walking Strong with Bill Armstrong. So much of the time on the podcast, we have outtakes, and we've got one that we're creating by ourselves today. And that is because you have to do one last update to the pod.
I know. How did I not say we're 11-3?
Yeah.
Guys, we're 11-3. I mean, think about that. 11-3.
You're already on to the new year.
I'm on. You're right.
Because it was the Wasabi Bowl.
It was the Wasabi. It wasn't 12-2, which I wanted.
Yes.
But damn, 11 wins. How many times have we had 11 wins?
Not many.
In the history of the SMU? Twice?
Not this century.
Yeah. Well, not this century for sure. I wish
you were in school.
I wish I had a list of. I sent this to somebody the other day about what it was like for the 30 years following the death
40.
penalty. Yeah, and it was like, and I highlighted the wins, and it was like 0, 0, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4. I mean, it was and so I don't want any of y'all ever complaining about the fact about any game this year. We had 3 bad halves. We had a bad half against OU. We had a bad half against TCU, and we had a bad half against Boston College. Otherwise, we're 14-0.
Yep.
So I'm damn proud. I'm damn proud of the year.
Should be.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard to win a conference championship. It's hard to go through it unscathed.
Yes.
I mean, it's
we ran the table.
Yes.
So anyway,
bowl games, anything can happen.
11-3. Yeah. Anything can happen.
Just do it. Yeah. Possibilities, right?
Oh, there you go.
So,
nice. Very
cheers
nice.
to that.
Here you go.
One last outtake of this season, I guess,
yes.
of Walking Strong. So on to 2024. Thank you guys for listening.
Thanks for listening to the On the Pony Express podcast with Billy Embody. Follow us on your socials on X at SMU3 and on Instagram at On3SMU. And keep it locked to OnThePonyExpress.com for more coverage.